So the past couple years that have went by, I noticed that I don't like to be the center of attention. To me, this is kind of weird because I never had a problem before. I was always fine with it. You know what I'm saying? I was always fine, like being around a lot of people and just being funny and being talkative and this, that, and the other. And don't get me wrong, like I'm still talkative. I still can talk. I still can communicate with people. But for some reason, now in my late 20s, I feel that I just don't like to be a center of attention. I don't really like for people to talk loud to me in public. You know those people that come to you, or those people that you're with, like you may be with at a grocery store or something, and they talk loud so everybody else around can hear, but you're like right there, so then there's no need to talk loud, but they still talk loud anyways. It's like they want to include other people in the conversation. I always get very cringed and very nervous. I don't like other people I don't know being involved or coming into like a conversation that they weren't included in, but because your friend or whoever you were with were just randomly talking loud, now that person feels the need to come over and say something and include themselves. Now, I don't have a problem with talking to other people, meeting new people, but why include another person in our conversation if it's just me and you talking? Maybe the person you're with want attention and like to just include other people in their conversation, but I don't. And I've never really cared to include people in my conversations that I have with someone else. But I think that, and then me not liking to go to clubs anymore, like that's, it all blends together. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to be a partier. I used to like to be around a lot of big crowds. Now from that, it went from that to, oh, now I don't want to go where a lot of crowds. It's like when I go to the store, I want to be in and out. Like I'm super fast with it. I don't really like to go shopping because it's a lot of people in there, or it's people in general. I just don't want to be around people. I don't like center of attention. I don't like when somebody sees me and yells across the way, "Hey, Diamond," like, yeah, then everybody looks at you, and I just don't like it. I don't know if it's only me or if anybody else feels this way, but I love just quietness and peacefulness and being in quiet areas. I've been to like little nice medium-sized restaurants where there was like little to nobody in there, and it makes me feel so comfortable rather than going to a restaurant that's filled with a whole bunch of people and it's too much loud talking. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go. I don't like social events like that. And I used to love social events. That's the thing. Like, I don't even know what really changed me. Maybe it's that I became so peaceful and calm with myself that I just enjoyed that a little bit too much. And so now when I get out of that, it's almost like it's an interruption. You know what I'm saying? Like it's interrupting my quiet time. It's interrupting my peacefulness. And all I want to do is just stay in this peacefulness. Like I want to stay here. I don't want to go to work and be around people and have to speak to people all day, every day, And I could do it. Like I go to work pretty much every day except for my off days, but I force myself to talk when I don't want to talk, and I force to smile and everything. And since I've been there for a while, I've gotten used to like forcing myself to really go and just perform and do the best I could do, which I think I do a great job. It's always that battle with myself where it's like, okay, I need to get out and be around people. Okay, I haven't been to the club in a while. Maybe I just need to get around people, and maybe I just need to get my old self back. But then I'm thinking like, why would I want my old self back? Like, why would I want to be a partier? The partier in me was the person that was not focused, was the person that was not trying to get to any goal. Like, that was the person that wanted to do stuff and had goals. And it was also the person that didn't really want to put effort in to get to their goals because they were so consumed with partying. I don't want to do that again. I don't want to be that again. You know what I'm saying? But there are times when, like, maybe one of my friends want to hit up a bar, and I never really want to be there, but I just go because my friend wants to go, right? But at the same time, when I go there, it reminds me why I stopped going. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just not peaceful to me anymore. It's not fun to me anymore. I'm not that person that like to be around people anymore and be all wild and crazy and dancing and doing this and doing that. Like, I'm just not that person no more. It's crazy because it almost feels like I changed overnight, because I remember how that feeling was in the beginning of all of this. When I started partying back when I was 21, when I started partying, I remember that feeling of how I felt. You know, I felt great. I felt like this is the best thing that I'm now experiencing. I like the environment. I like the music. I like the scenery. I like escaping from the work life and the seriousness. But now when I go, it's almost like I'm empty and I feel nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, yeah, I see people dancing, I hear the music going, everybody's conversating or whatever, but like there's nothing there. Like, I don't enjoy it. Like, how could the enjoyment just go out of your body out of nowhere? There was a situation that really made me feel cringe, and it was that I went to a club with a few friends for the first time, and I think they worked with me, and I went there with them, and they went off dancing with some other guys, and now I'm just there kind of bobbing my head, just chilling, and this random guy comes up to me and tries to make me dance and get on the dance floor. And he's like, come on, let's go. And he's like, I know you want to get on the dance floor. So he's trying to like literally like gently grabs my arm and try to like move me over, and I'm just like pulling back like, nah, I'm good. I can't, like the cringiness in me couldn't get with it. I'm not a partier anymore. Back when I first started partying, I used to actually move and dance and have fun and love the environment. I don't know what happened. I'm still trying to figure out what happened. I think I just became so in tune with peace that I don't want to let it go. Sometimes, you know, when you start something, you end up finding out your true self and what your true self feels like and what it feels like to be in a certain spot, and you never want to move. So eventually the guy just left me alone, and that was that. But I think when you go out and you're around people, or when you're around people anyways, like, it's just this certain expectation that I think people expect of you. Like, they're like, oh, you're out around people, so you gotta talk, you gotta do this, you gotta drink, you gotta, you know, and I don't like that, you know, like people sit over here and peer pressure you, take a shot, take a shot, take a shot. And although I got peer pressured in most ways back then, well, that was the partier in me, but I get peer pressure now, I'm sticking to my no. I'm telling you that, like, I'm sticking to my no. I'm not letting these people peer pressuring me to taking a shot when I know I don't drink anymore. I think my comfort with peace has gotten so bad that I don't even like to run into people that I went to school with or that I know. Like, I just don't want to run into people that I know. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll say something every now and then, but 9 times out of 10, they'll see me and they'll be the ones to scream my name, and I'm just like, you know, somebody knows me. You know, part of me don't want to even remember my high school days. I barely remember as much as I do already. I don't know. I think sometimes we can run from that little girl inside that we remember how we used to be, but now we feel like we're so much better, so now we don't even want to remember the past. And I think I'm that person. If I'm being honest, I'm perfectly fine with being the quiet loner in my room, you know. Don't get me wrong, I got friends. You know, I go out every blue moon, but that's exactly what I want it to be. I want it to be every blue moon. I don't want to go out every weekend or every time I have a day off, or be out in the streets every time I have a day off. I don't like that. I love being in the house. I love observing just my environment with just me. You know, I love watching movies and just watching the interestingness that happens in the movies, because I know a lot of it relates with the real world. I just enjoy being with myself, because you could never go wrong with being with yourself. It's really peaceful, it's really comforting, and I like it. But maybe I like it just a little too much. I do my best to get out when I can, but I prefer to stay inside. And I honestly feel like this is going to be the hardest thing to let go of. And I don't think I'm going to change from being this comfortable. I don't know if it's a bad thing to say that I don't think that I'm going to change, but it's the truth. Like, I love it here. I love being in my peacefulness. I don't want to be surrounded by a lot of people doing stuff that's not going to get me to where I'm trying to go in life. And part of me just feels like I'm getting to that age to where it's like, look, focus on yourself. Like, you've done enough partying. Focus on yourself. Well, that's all I got to say, guys. Thank you for watching.